Hello again, it's Lock Noob, and I got this really nice Squire 660 Old English padlock. It tells you quite nicely on here that it's got 4 levers. That's actually quite useful information. And this is a lever operated padlock. So you can see the key here. The first part of the key, if you look at the bitting, this part activates the bolt mechanism at the back, and then these 1, 2, 3 and half of this part of the key here, these teeth interact with the wafer pack which is inside. Turn the key and it opens up. Now an interesting feature here is, if I show you, you see there, that sliding in and out is the bolt, and the way that that works is it's actually sort of like a bar, sort of slightly hooked. So what happens is it slides in to this groove and stops the shackle from being opened. So it's sort of a sliding locking mechanism. Now to pick this, you need to tension against that, and this is really important how you do it. Now if you have the right 2-in-1 pick tools or a tensioner, you can tension through the keyway or even through the back by interacting with the sliding bolt mechanism through the back of the lock. However, I don't have a lot of specialised equipment. What I do have is some Allen keys or Allen wrenches. Now I found that this here is about the right fit to get down to tension the bolt mechanism. Okay, now what you need to do is I've tried using some spring steel and some music wire and things, but I find they're too flexible and you actually need quite a lot of tension, or at least I do. Maybe it's a skill thing, I'm not very experienced at lever picking, to apply to the bolt to basically tension against the lever pack and move them up to their gate. I tried putting the tension wrench, or the Allen wrench down here like this way around, and try to lever it, but I find that that's actually it doesn't give you much of the Allen key to do that with. You can see it just moving that bolt mechanism a little bit there. Okay, what I found instead is it's the right depth to put in this way, and you need to lift it a little bit. If you leave it straight down, what you end up doing is when you push down, you're actually pushing against the top of the lock. So you need to move it up a little bit, just enough so that you can feel a little bit of spring on. There we go, I can feel a bit of spring on that bolt mechanism there. Okay, now you do need quite heavy tension, and I'm going to just lock this up. So I need to first retract the bolt out of the way, close it up and lock it, and then it's all locked up. Now to pick it, and again I wish I was a bit more of an expert at this, but I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to put it in my vise quite tight. I'm going to put this in to tension it, and I'm going to tension, as I said, I might need to move it forwards a bit, sit it up a little bit more if I can, so like that. Yeah, that should work. Okay, so that will be in here, and that'll be tensioning on the bolt. Okay, that's good. So I'll be pushing down with the flat of my palm here, like that. And the way I'm going to pick it is by using a lever wire, which a friend of the UK Lock Sport Forum made for me. This is a lever wire, and that's going to go into the keyway. I'm going to lift it by turning to lift each of the levers in turn, just slowly, one by one, going up and down the lever pack, and eventually what we'll find is that the levers will stop being as springy, so they'll have found the gate and they won't be as springy on their return. It's hard to describe, but it's quite hard to do at the same time. So I've got my Allen key tension wrench in here. I can feel a little bit of spring on the bolt, so that's what I'm looking for. Quite heavy tension, and go in and try and get onto those. I'm going to support this with my thumb as well, so I can lift those levers to their height. You hear me just lifting those levers one by one. That's lever 2. 1, 2, 3. And I think we're open. There we go. So that wasn't too bad, was it, guys? All you're doing is you're just trying to lift each one of those levers to the right height, going up and down the lever pack. In some ways, with an open padlock like this, you don't need to know which lever you're on either. It's you just need to feel your way through that lever pack with the right amount of tension on the bolt, and eventually you'll lift all the levers to the right height. You'll hear that click like you did, and that'll release the shackle. So I hope you found that useful. I think the key tips there are going to be, the take-home messages are: you must apply the right amount of tension to the right point in the lock, and the best way to do it, if you don't have a 2-in-1 tool, is to get down here by the side of the shackle. Be careful, you need something quite strong. I don't know what they make these Allen keys out of, but they're made of a very strong metal, enough that I can apply enough downforce, and working it as a lever, as you see, pushing against that bolt. The other thing is, you do need a good lever wire. I was lucky to have a friend who made one for me. But if you have some decent steel, and this is obviously quite a strong stainless wire, then you should be able to fashion one of these relatively quickly with a pair of pliers and a bit of patience and a file and some sandpaper. I don't know any other way other than, and you can, it seems a bit of a waste, cut down the key. Here it is. You can cut down the key so that the key itself is only just cut down here. So you just leave the end bit far down a little bit more. You can actually move the key up and down the lever pack, lifting it to the highest height using the key. But I find that's a bit of a waste, and what do you do if you don't have the key? So anyway, like I said, I hope you found that interesting. I'm sort of proud of myself because I don't do a lot of lever picking, and I was so pleased when I figured out how to get into this pretty impressive looking lock. Anyway, alright, I'll see you next time.